Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Today I am really excited to be sharing my initial thoughts on the Scoured Stars adventure path for the first edition Starfinder role-playing game, because at the time I'm recording this, the second edition playtest is just a few months away, which I'm looking forward to, but this is neither here nor there for the purposes of this video. Now, this was sent to me by the folks from Paizo for the purposes of promoting and raising awareness of and doing some videos on, so I really do want to thank them for sending this along. Now, as is always the case with these types of products, when they're sent to me, the company is not pre-screening or scripting the videos. They're not demanding, specific reviews or anything like that. They're not demanding like high scores if you do scores or anything along those lines. The opinions that I express in this video, as always, are 100% completely and totally my own. But when it comes to the Scoured Stars here, just the concept alone behind this product makes it one of the most unique hardcover adventure path compilation books that Paizo has put out, at least for quite some time. I don't know how many were done for like first edition Pathfinder. I do have a couple in like pocket edition form. But for example, most of the compilation hardcover books like this are usually things like the Dead Sun's Adventure Path, which was a hardcover re-release of just the original modules that made up the adventure path. So I've got the individual 6 installments here for the Dead Sun's Adventure Path, and then I have the hardcover book. So that's what most of them are. Even for like Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I have the Abomination Vault, and that's again just a compilation of the previously retail released Adventure Path installments. But the Scoured Stars is different in that it's actually a compilation of Starfinder Society, I should say, Starfinder Society scenarios. A lot of S words there, and words are hard, and I'm trying to get this done as quickly as possible because my puppy's up in his crate, and I know it's only a matter of time before he starts wanting to get out of there. Anyway, but this is a compilation of Starfinder Society adventures, and this is just a really, really cool concept overall. Like, I love the idea of taking a series of like organized play adventures that you would do at like stores or local events and actually putting them together as a cohesive story. Because in a lot of cases with organized play, they typically will have an overarching story that plays out over the course of multiple scenarios, usually throughout the course of a year. And I think this is what this is, because there's 12 scenarios from the Starfinder Society organized play campaign, remastering and optimizing them for at-home play in the form of cosmos-spanning adventures from levels 1 through 15. So that is a pretty extensive campaign. So unlike the Pathfinder ones, they typically go from like level 1 all the way through to level 20. This one and a lot of the Starfinder ones, typically the longer ones will end at around 14th or 15th level to give the players a little bit more stuff that they can do afterwards when they get to like super high level play, which I think is again really, really cool. This retails for $54.99 US. And the basic premise is that the player characters are members of the Starfinder Society, an adventurers guild, if you will, or explorers guild, where like 80% of their members, as well as their members' resources, have been lost in this doomed expedition to a place known as the Scoured Stars, a region in space with some unique and interesting like megafauna and deadly creatures and things that the Starfinder Society was intent on trying to research and sort of delve into, trying to find ancient artifacts and relics of past civilizations, all the things that you would normally associate with sort of like an adventurer's guild in a science fiction or science fantasy type of setting. Now, they have been cut off from the rest of the galaxy by this impenetrable force field that prevents any form of communication, prevents any form of even like visual observation, and prevents any attempts of magic to like bypass it. So the players have to find their way through to reach that system and then discover what happened and hopefully rescue their trapped members and recover the organization's resources there, as they come up against some pretty interesting and potentially Lovecraftian-esque type of creatures here. Now, like so, this is not going to be a full review or anything like that. I just got this book yesterday, but I wanted to at least share the overall premise as well as sort of the genesis behind this, because I think the idea of releasing these hardcover compilations of organized play scenarios is absolutely fantastic. Excuse me. I love the idea of this, and from the Paizo organized play adventures that I've looked at over the years, they do some really great stuff and have some really cool, interesting adventures there. And I did do a review of one of their organized play scenarios years ago, so I will try to attach that to the end of this video here. But yeah, again, it's just a really cool concept, and I would love to see more of this here. So we got the different systems that are part of the Scoured stars. It's like a trinary star system. So this is where the bulk of the adventure takes place. And like I said, the players are members, like junior members of the Starfinder Society. So they wouldn't have been chosen necessarily to be part of this massive expedition that has now become trapped. The adventure also does use a milestone advancement method, so you don't really necessarily worry about experience points or anything along those lines. It just tells you what levels you should be at by the time you start and finish the scenario there. As well as like your starship tier, which dictates how powerful of a ship that you can have as the campaign goes on, and how much money and stuff that you should be able to get as time goes on. And again, there's also a little foreword here from the managing creative director of Starfinder here, where he does talk about like thanking the writers of the original scenarios and all that stuff. So I think that's just, again, a really, really cool shout out to those individuals and the hard work that they've done. You do get a little bit of a campaign summary there as well, but I'm not going to go over this too much. I will be trying to do a proper full review in a few weeks' time. I want this to be out long enough for people to have like at least started playing through it. And I will try to do like a spoiler light or spoiler free as I can review when the time comes. But again, I just think this is just a really awesome idea. And one of the other things that's really cool about this book and the way that it's laid out is it also uses not just the Starfinder role-playing books, not just the different scenarios from the adventure paths, but we also get, if I can find it here, they also incorporate actual Starfinder released and some Pathfinder released flip mats. So if you actually have the maps for some of these adventure locations, you can use the actual flip mat that you have previously picked up. And again, I think that's a really cool way of incorporating those products into an actual campaign. So for example, this map here uses the hospital map from the Starfinder Flip Mat Hospital, which I just so happen to have right here. So it's this map here, and it's just flipped on its side. So it's kind of presented in a little bit of a different orientation, but I think that's just really, really cool. And there are several of these peppered throughout the book. This was just the one that I knew I had on my shelf and was able to find relatively quickly. But what's also really cool about this is not only do they have some of the flip mats incorporated, but they also, if I can find it here really quickly, hopefully, they also incorporate some of the Starfinder flip tiles. So for example, this set here is made from the Starfinder flip tiles starter set. So I do have that. It's on my shelf. It's way out of reach though. But I think, again, it's just a really cool way of using the like cross-promoting your products, because you have the map that you need if you want to run it without using the flip mats or without using the dungeon tiles. But if you have those, then this campaign has a lot of them incorporated into it. There's some from like the space station tile set as well, and there, like so, there are even some Pathfinder flip mats incorporated into the book as well. So it just does a really good job of utilizing a lot of other products that you might have from your Starfinder collection. And I mean, the hospital map, like this came out in 2018. So it's kind of cool to see that, oh my gosh, like almost 6 years later now, because it is 2024, like 6 years later, if you still have this in your collection, or if you happen to pick this up back in the day, if you pick up this campaign, you'll have a use for it. And I don't know. I just think that that's a really cool way of utilizing and maximizing the product lines that you've released for the Starfinder RPG. Again, the idea of you trying to rescue a large portion of this Adventurers Guild or Explorers Guild or whatever you want to call them, and needing to deal with that, and having the players sort of ascend to the ranks of these massive heroes that go on a potentially galaxy-saving adventure, dealing with some pretty bad again, kind of far realm type of creatures. I just think this is going to be a really cool adventure path, and I have a lot of Starfinder adventures that I would love to get a chance to run. But truthfully, I'm really kind of stoked about this one. So hopefully at some point in the very near future, I will be able to get a Starfinder game going. And I think Scoured Stars is the adventure path that I would end up choosing. Anyway, like I said, this is not a full review. I've only had this for a few hours. I just got it out of the mailbox there earlier. So I haven't had a chance to read through the entire thing. This is just sort of a first impressions and something to raise awareness that this is out, and to talk about some of the cooler features that I found just flipping through the book, like the use of previously released accessories and stuff like that being incorporated into the actual campaign. I think that's just, again, a really awesome thing that hopefully I see more of going forward. Anyway. That's it for now. I hope you guys are interested in checking this out. It should be available at your local retail game store or wherever you get your RPG supplies. And I think that if you're a Starfinder fan, this is something that is going to be well worth your time. Anyway, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Until then, take care.